The world of Zootopia is full of animals of all kinds, and it's amazing to see all these creatures living together in society. But have you ever imagined what the characters from the franchise would look like in real life? Gary. Even though the characters we see in Zootopia don't exist in real life, the animals they're based on do. Remember Gary, the snake who stole the spotlight in the second movie? He's not just a generic snake, he's based on the Trimeresurus insularis. This species lives in Indonesia and is known for its vibrant blue color, and also for being venomous, which explains why Gary poisons people in the movie with his fangs. Another important detail is that these snakes have natural heat sensors that allow them to see in the dark through heat, which is extremely important to the movie's story, since Gary's grandmother's diary can only be read by someone who has these sensors. See how this franchise uses real animal traits as part of the story? And this is just one of the 13 Zootopia 2 characters you need to see in real life, Judy Hopps. It's no secret that the most beloved bunny in the franchise is Judy Hopps. And for good reason, because she's skilled, charismatic, and of course, super cute. And the reason lies exactly in her rabbit breed, or rather breeds. That's because she isn't based on just one type of rabbit, but two. One of them is the European rabbit, known for being incredibly fast and agile, something Judy clearly shows when she's chasing criminals. Now, her cute side comes from the cottontail rabbits, which have soft fur just like Judy, and obviously they're so adorable you just want to squeeze them. So yes, she's basically the perfect rabbit, which shows how much effort went into creating this character. Speaking of that, there's also a little joke in Judy Hopps' last name. Hopps comes from the word hop, which means to jump, exactly what rabbits love to do. Nick Wilde. Of course, we can't forget Nick Wilde since he's also a main character alongside Judy. As his appearance makes clear, Nick is based on the red fox, the most popular fox species in the world. They're clever and solitary, usually only pairing up to have offspring. And we don't even need to explain how perfectly that matches Nick, right? Both movies make it very clear that he's someone very lonely. Zootopia 2 explores this even more, showing that Nick struggles to show affection toward Judy since he's not used to doing that. His last name also has a very interesting detail. Wild is a reference to the word wild, reminding us that even though the animals in Zootopia have evolved to behave like humans, they still have a wild side inside them, the Lynxley family. Now it's time to talk about the big villains of Zootopia 2. The Lynxley family is made up of some of the most important figures in the city, and on top of that, all of them are based on the Canadian lynx. This animal lives in snowy regions and, because of that, doesn't feel the cold. That's why it's a bit strange that Pawbert wears a coat. He's always been someone who feels out of place in his family. Maybe the coat shows how Pawbert feels like he isn't a true Lynxley, to the point of needing extra warmth in the cold. But here's the thing, he proved to be just as cruel as the other members of his family by the end of the movie, so Pawbert never really needed that coat after all. Lynxes have other very interesting abilities. Their paws allow them to walk on snow without sinking, like natural snow boots, perfect for an animal that needs to survive in freezing environments. In the same way, their pointed ears allow them to detect prey with great precision. Hey Zeus! Besides Gary, there was another reptile that totally stole the show in this movie, and his name is Jesus. He is completely based on the green basilisk, an animal that lives in southern Mexico and in other parts of Central America. This funny little creature is known for something very unusual. It can run across water using its tiny legs as if it were running on solid ground. That's why this character runs off across the water after saying goodbye to the main characters. And yes, his name is Jesus as a reference to Jesus Christ, whose most famous miracle is walking on water. By the way, remember when we mentioned that green basilisks exist in Mexico? That's exactly why Jesus is Mexican. Another detail that supports this is that his name is much more common in Mexico than in most other countries, so Jesus fits perfectly in that setting. By the way, who's your favorite animal in Zootopia? Drop a comment below with #animal and your answer. Don't leave us curious. Mayor Windancer. The new leader of the city of Zootopia manages to be both funny and handsome, which is rare even though he is also a liar and a coward. At least until the end of the movie when he finally stands up to the Lynxleys. His positive traits definitely come directly from his species, since Mayor Windancer is based on the Clydesdale horse, which comes from Scotland and is widely known for being huge and extremely beautiful. Yes, just like Windancer himself. Seriously, these horses can reach nearly 2 meters in height and weigh close to a ton. And you know the best part? They also stomp their hooves on the ground to count, something Windancer does in the movie when he's about to count how many mayors have already been exposed exposed by Nick and Judy? The answer is 2, by the way. Nibbles Maple Stick. Like most Disney productions, Zootopia is full of comic relief characters, and one fan favorite is Nibbles Maple Stick, mainly because besides being hilarious, she was also essential to the story of Zootopia 2 in many different ways. Nibbles is a beaver, and not only does she clearly show the traits of these animals, but that also ends up playing an important role in the movie's plot. After all, beavers are known for being able to gnaw through wood extremely well, and the character shows this ability several times in the movie, like when she turns a mop into a key and uses it to escape from prison with Nick. If it weren't for that, Nick would never have been able to escape in time to save Judy. On top of that, beavers can both walk on land and swim, which explains why she does so well in swampy environments. Gazelle. The biggest pop star in Zootopia appears in both the first movie and its sequel, performing songs from the soundtrack of both productions. The reason for all this attention is that she is actually based on Shakira, and is even voiced by the singer herself. So unlike the other characters, Gazelle's real-world version wouldn't be a wild animal, but Shakira herself. But if we talk about Gazelle's animal side, it's pretty obvious which animal she's based on. The answer is right in her name, Gazelle. Coincidence or not, this animal is highly social and lives in groups of up to 700 individuals. And that perfectly matches a massively popular singer who is always surrounded by hundreds of fans during her performances. Mallet Brandt. The Zootopia Police Department isn't made up only of officers and investigators. There are also workers behind computers, and they are extremely important to investigations. One of them is Mallet Brandt, who is a mole, a small little creature that loves digging tunnels. But just like in Gazelle's case, the real-life version of this character is actually a human. That's because he was based on Hideo Kojima, one of the most famous video game developers in the world, responsible for creating Death Stranding and the Metal Gear franchise. Just like Shakira, Hideo Kojima also lent his voice to the character, though only in the Japanese dub. Now, if we look at the animal side of the character, there are also some interesting facts. In real life, moles have very small eyes that are almost impossible to see because they are rarely used, since they spend most of their time underground. Maybe that's why Mallet Brandt needs to wear glasses. Their fur is designed to protect them underground, so it never gets messy. On top of that, they are capable of sensing everything underground as if they had a radar, allowing them to track anything. Maybe that's why Paul works with computers, tracking criminals and analyzing things that would be difficult for others to understand. After all, the internet is like one giant mole tunnel. Captain Hogbottom. The Lynxley Family and Mayor Windancer weren't the only ones playing antagonists in Zootopia 2. Captain Hogbottom is a specialist in hunting down fugitives. She has good intentions, but starts chasing Judy and Nick after they are accused of working with Gary. She is a wild boar, which is also an excellent tracker in real life. It might not seem like it, but wild boars are highly intelligent compared to many other animals, and they can run at speeds of around 40 kilometers per hour. Combined with their incredible sense of smell, they can track down almost anyone. That's why Captain Hogbottom is so relentless in this movie. Subscribing to the channel is just as good as watching your favorite animations. Shall we click? Dr. Fuzby. One of the first scenes from Zootopia 2 to be revealed showed Nick and Judy doing couples therapy. Co-worker therapy. The therapist helping them was Dr. Fuzby. Many people don't know what species she is, but the answer is that Fuzby is a quokka. This animal comes from Australia and holds a very curious title, the happiest animal in the world. Why? Because quokkas always have a facial expression that looks like a smile, and on top of that, they are very social. It's no surprise that Dr. Fuzby is so upbeat and helps officers improve their relationships. Also, quokkas can survive while drinking very little water, so their lives really don't involve much stress. Zebras. These two are also from a very obvious species if you think about it for just a couple of seconds. They are zebras. There aren't many animals known for having black and white stripes, and before you ask, yes, they are very faithful to real-life zebras. Besides looking extremely similar visually, there's also the fact that real zebras, just like gazelles, live in groups. In the case of zebras, they also love doing things together, and that perfectly matches the personality of this zebra police duo, since they are always walking side by side and act like extensions of each other, which even leads them to participate in Dr. Fuzby's group therapy sessions. Anthony Snootley. At the beginning of the movie, we meet Anthony Snootley, a criminal who is being investigated by Nick and Judy. Almost no one paid enough attention to him to really think about what he is, and if you were one of those people, here's the answer. Anthony is a giant anteater. Even though the character has teeth in the movie, that was a change made so he wouldn't wouldn't look too strange, because this animal doesn't have teeth in real life. And honestly, teeth aren't even necessary since he can eat thousands of insects per day using his incredibly long tongue. By the way, this is another character whose name has a fun reference, since Antony shares the same initials as the animal's name, Anteater. If you liked this video, there are 2 more ready on the screen. Just click and keep watching with us. Thanks, and see you soon.